Sans obefa benwei enema wehu ewo man sikasem hye wono echen kro no
Sanso ena yemampanyi ene ne first cabinet meeting no ekoso na de ba ko muka ho asempa eyoman bambo ensem
Sanso na mashibidwo no jama manfo wo afutuo na ba fanyo market chese union wo mrashibidwo mbeboa no na korea yare no hadwen ewo ne constituency wo pa
na edom kuma ewo mrashibidwo fie etra eye akwatia mrashibidwo ni onmunyafo Ernest Yakumi a Kufodua High Court at the bench warrant abase yenkwokyere no mo se kyere na ebekye ne de enya de ebeye adwuma esanse judge no wonye na adwuma yi
we sembi na nyime yatena sese no ndubie mu kasebo ewo UTV so medin edi anim adomene
abna beyi nyano
afi ye bo ransenu na ye ko Ghana man Excellency John Dramani Mahama no den sem ato Ghana adwumayefo anim apedi ho nsem omasika ya afibia ntumu no ono mo ko share kodidi ho komo na okasa mudi ano ekodu hagechemu edu no chese we de obesre afi no waba afi no waba fa Ghana benwa no na obefa benwa no ohwe man sikasem no ntutue mu no niema ewom abandada no niema wom ni ade no enya de tweye kroman sikasem man tutu ni to de afi we de omunso hagechemu dumu ema no na afi be kone nim so to nioma na gina yi a ono beka kasa foforo.
Comrades, you know we are your natural allies and we've worked together for many years. One thing that is a cardinal principle for us is to tell the truth at all times. We all knew the economy was in crisis, but some of the things I'm discovering myself, I mean, it's been a criminal handling of our economy. And Ghana is a crime scene, actually, because how a government can have been so reckless, I cannot understand. But we're faced with a reality, and our options are very few. We can behave like the ostrich and hide our heads in the sand and let the economy crash. But then what effect would it have on Ghanaian households and everybody? And so I've told him, I said, cut expenditure as much as you like. Even we ourselves in Office of Government Machinery cut as much of our budget as you like, because we all must make those sacrifices. A certain distrust of the political class has arisen because it's like when everybody else is tightening their belts, the political class is loosening its belts. But I want to assure you that we're all going to tighten our belts and there will be no wasteful expenditure. It is said that we create and share. And so let's start cooking the meal now so that we can share when we have created. But right now, the meal is not only insufficient, the cooking pot is even leaking. And so I'll just appeal to you that let's temper our demands for this year. And once we get out of the woods, we've set good targets to bring inflation down so that the cost of everything will come down. We've set targets to grow the economy, to make things better. And when the cake is baked and is bigger, we'll share bigger. We are proposing an independent emoluments committee that would set the incomes for everybody from the president right down to the ordinary laborer. We are prepared to walk this journey with you, but I just appeal to you that let's reach agreement on this one so that we use this year as the year of correction. And then after we've corrected, we'll see how the economy continues to go. Once the economy moves in the direction that we are all hoping for, we all, if we have an independent emoluments committee, maybe if you suggest 35%, I'll support you because it will affect my pay too.
Ena yemampanyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama the first cabinet meeting no ekoso na eniema miensa enomudi ho nkomo ehwe se ehonsem ne betimi akoye ama oman Ghana apem akonkan eye bambonsem oman ni sikasem ena fe 24-hour economy hyehyɛ ya wode eba na enhyemu nachi ena onmunyamfo Felix Kwachifosu a wodi nkita ho edema aban de to nsentwerefo enimu se enhyemu ne koboko na Minister for Interior ebaye, Minister for Defense and afi National Security Coordinator no mu nyina de to aban enimu se Ghana ye bambonsem no ejina yie pa nti ye dada adwumadi so a emaye nsuro.
There were a number of briefings. The first, of course, as should be expected, was a briefing on security, the state of security in the country. So the Minister for the Interior, the Minister for Defense, and the National Security Coordinator took turns to brief Cabinet on the security situation in the country. And the general view emanating from the briefing was that Ghana's security was strong. We are a safe country, and people are free to go about their normal activities without let or hindrance. And whatever threats exist, our security agencies have the capacity to deal with. So Ghana was declared safe from the briefings that were made at Cabinet today. The second briefing was made by the Presidential Advisor on the 24-hour economy and accelerated export development, Mr. Guzitano. He briefed Cabinet on preparations so far towards a full rollout of the 24-hour economy. And one was left with the impression that tremendous work had gone into what is arguably President Mahama's foremost transformation plan, which aims to convert the Ghanaian economy from its present state into one that never sleeps and works around the clock. The briefing from Mr. Tano and his team shows, I beg your pardon, that we are on course to ensuring a smooth takeoff. And in due course, the 24-hour secretariat would be engaging the Ghanaian media so that through you, they can apprise the people of Ghana as to where things stand. And the president and everybody else in cabinet was highly confident that based on the roadmap that had been established, we were on course to achieving the objective of having a 24-hour economy. The final briefing was made by the minister responsible for finance. As you may be aware, we campaigned strongly on Ghana's failing economy. And indeed, our fears were borne out when the finance minister made his briefing. The situation is dire. The numbers are even worse than we had known in the period of the elections. But the minister, the president, and others involved in the management of the economy were confident that the proposals, the policy propositions, and the program that President Mahama has put on the table were sufficient to turn around the situation and lift the pall of economic hardship and despair that has hung over this country and its people all these years under the new Patriotic Party, where economic mismanagement and imprudent decision-making was commonplace. In a few days' time, President Mahama will be addressing Parliament. He will be delivering a message on the state of the nation to Parliament, and he will take the opportunity to delve deep into our current economic state, what we inherited, and what plans there are going forward to ensure economic revival and resuscitation.
Yet once and only a court, Mashibidra, or Gina Homa for a futu, and Mashibidra and Patuano Suya, Honorable Afenio Marcus, Ansona Dom Kuma, one Mashibidra, on your ban, Denina, Yare Corilla, Concry Ariano, a seaho, I have Manfred Powers and Patemo, and not just say, Wahibia on one Casad Nibutum Sika, Ghana Sicano, 200,000 Ghana cities of Aham Yenu, Nina, or the Aboa Atotonio, Beboa, and Ayarea Cofonenso, and a one Aha Manforeno. And what to ask Mashibidra for Union say, we dear, a yamino to Umra na Umeboano.
So far, although the Minister of Health has visited the Winneba Health Directorate, but nothing has been given to them by way of logistical support. Mr. Speaker, yesterday I had to buy additional 100 mattresses for them, and I have released another 100,000 Ghana cedis. Mr. Speaker, the situation is really getting out of hand, Yes, I've released 100,000 Ghana cedis last week for them. And Mr. Speaker, again, another 100,000 Ghana cedis has been released. The PPEs, Mr. Speaker, are in short supply. They don't have it. Although the health minister was there, the regional directorate is yet to provide logistical support. Mr. Speaker, Winneba is a commercial center. People come from all over the region, all over the country to trade in Winneba. So it shouldn't be seen as a Winneba problem. Until recently, cholera was elsewhere, and now it's in Winneba. If it is not properly contained, it may get out of hand and may become a major national health issue. I am using this platform to again appeal to government to intervene. The health professionals are stressed. People are in distress. They need medication. They need vaccination. They are exposed. In fact, the male ward of the Winneba Government Hospital has been converted into a cholera treatment center. They've also set up a tent outside to receive new cases. Children are going through this trauma. The aged are the most affected. Mr. Speaker, it's not a palatable scene. And I'm also appealing to agencies in the health sector, as well as those in the business of mechanizing PPEs, to come to the aid of the health facilities in Winneba. It's all they need. The members who are here, this is not a Futu's problem. It is our problem. When I hear of challenges in your backyard, you know how I come in to support you. We are not launching an appeal for fun, but I'm calling on colleagues, do your own small contribution and support Efutu.
Penny abedi echira watia edonkuma ewo mrashebedwafie eye onmunyamfo Jerry Ahmed Shaibu na wode atudwa se eye bench warrant akufodua high court ede aba se onmunyamfo NS Yakumi akwati amrashebedwani omfa nkokere no omosenya de ebeye adwuma esanse kwan a judge ne fa so ye na adwuma no ntwa yi appeal a chese onmunyamfo NS Yakumi ne lawyers for person mu ye nyina judge ne mpecho mbiso omonti ase ni nti oyesa enti omude omunu senhye ya wode abaidie enyade a ebegina.
On the 24th January 2025, Honorable NS Yakumi, given the conduct of the judge, His Lordship Justice Emmanuel Senyo Amedehe, filed an application for him to recuse himself on the grounds of bias and prejudice, but he refused to recuse himself. This normally would not happen. The question any reasonable mind would ask is, what is the interest of the judge in the matter before him? That all these applications had been filed at the Supreme Court, including a certiorari, including a stay, and including our application for him to recuse himself. But evidence abound that Justice Senyo Amedehe decided to proceed with alacrity. We at the minority are still worried. At worst, there is a pending application seeking to oust the jurisdiction of the court, including the very contempt application before him on his docket, which is yet to be moved on the 26th of February 2025. It is mind-boggling that while the learned judge did not want to wait to hear the propriety of this application, since this was challenging the foundation of the petition before him, including all the processes and the orders made pursuant to the filing of the parliamentary election petition on 31st December 2024. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, it would interest you to know that on the 18th February 2025, Honorable Ernest Yaokumi caused to be filed a motion on notice to arrest the ruling of the judge on the contempt application, but as usual, and in the normal grand style of Justice Senyo Amedehe,
a very biased judge,
he decided to show his biasness again. He decided to ignore the application that was pending before the Supreme Court, and for which he had also been handed a copy. In fact, one copy was on his docket. He, in his grand style, decided to go ahead. Interestingly, this is Justice Senyo Amedehe, who at countless moments has thrown the law to the back burner. At this stage, let me state further that legal steps have been taken. A notice of appeal has been filed against the ruling of the High Court at the Court of Appeal. An application for stay of execution pending appeal has also been filed at the High Court, number 3, Koforidua. Moreover, all the parties to the certiorari and prohibition application, including the judge, His Lordship Justice Emmanuel Senyo Amedehe, who is the respondent to this application before the Supreme Court, have been duly served. Further legal steps would be taken, and the minority caucus in Parliament will abreast the Ghanaian public on the way forward.
It was on a incremental so for Honorable Linda Obenewa Oklu. Now, then some at to just say, Nancy, Yamian Fefi, Emma Cantaman, Kudra Eshe, Kana Mama, the Dona Abwa, Bebri, Emma Umgusua, AC, Adriano, and so Chese, I will say a bind so air na Femudi and Tienche, a bind you between or the Beko Aquaco Boamo.
As we speak now, the issue is before His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. We've not been given a directive yet, so we'll still wait for them to give us any directive, and that is what we are going to comply with. It's part of JM's policy, and very soon they'll implement that Women's Bank that will give the women loans, at a low rate of interest. So very soon, that's why I'm saying that process is ongoing. They will implement the procedure very soon so that the bank will start, and so that people can get access to the loans, with a low interest rate. Yeah, the security, we have to meet the stakeholders involved. We'll meet the market leadership. And like I said, the issue is at the presidency awaiting directive from His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. And I believe security is also part of the issues that were discussed. So it will also be part of the whatever directive that will come out. The congestion, in fact, that's what I'm saying, that we have to implement, the usage of the foot bridges. Also, you saw, on our way coming, the hawkers, they've taken all over. So there should be a plan. There should be a plan out. So we are waiting for the DCs to come, and then we engage the DCs, other stakeholders to make sure that, and like I said, we don't want to sack them. That is where they deprive their daily livelihood from. So we don't want to sack them, but we have to regularize it to make sure that, there should be a space between, to avoid those congestion. So exactly what we are going to do. I'm waiting for the DCs to come. We are going to also have a sanitation day on the 28th of February, which is next week, hopefully next week, and Friday. And so we are going to tell them what they should do and what we expect. And when I was coming on my way, I had a lengthy chat with the MP to tell them what to do. And exactly, we were also visiting the district assemblies. And so we are taxing them to work on the congestion on the roads so that, we'll all be free. And like I said, we don't want to sack anybody because, if you sack them, where are they going? So they should also comply with us. And so I believe that when the directive is being given, they will comply with us.
Kwanchefo Penny Emma Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors Dr. Patrick Ofori na wadi atudwa se National Petroleum Authority ebo mo dia ba bonten se omofanto fango bo so no ebeboa pa na obia ho atono eba ne sanso a wo mo tonton fango oil marketing companies no obi ntimi nka se saabo no onde obegye abrosa enti ebeboa
MP send imprebebre enunti na ya kanse obeti na amanfo kana BDC for no mo ton petrol na ebu amanfo cheso minni edumaku a ye regulating kese party say ye nkofo ye and the MP the sa price for na ba na say baseline na benchmark say ye hwe sene amanone ye ton petrol we adwama nso na ne ye hwe exchange rate ewo adwama nso a ewo ko bank hon mana se Bank of Ghana exchange rate na madaro na se omode dumie na eni ye bi shim e di bibia shim ne de omfa so ana se margin bi eto so eni kwan se obi etimi ton product no beyond or below this price enti eno ye mefa nse akwankyere regulator na ediba senia consumers obi emumu mfaso enti eno ana ekyeresa obekọ mu so at ehun say prices no ekọ from because of a free bear the last window the last 2 weeks dollar bia here bia dey ko adwama nso because of governor no ansa woso woni ye di Bank of Ghana Central Bank no and enkuta ho papa sesi cost between you know which started from somewhere last year October whole ban say German so price now cost ninya exchange rate ni nya ye dollars ni na free Central Bank no sene na otwi ye besimu ni the previous week ni nya ye na wa also so hwa CD ni so are relatively stable international price no so aye be stable kakra and it says sa na me nyina the chef formula ni ma bibie ni ho a kire se ye wo enyina so bia se ye bitimi akwa akoton product no agira mo abo se ye pese ye bu amanfo and sa so na akosoro eni abia ye ye no ntise ye nya indicative values a ema na ebo no bafoma se ema omo so benefit enti se muhu ya na ye the key niema na se enyina so ofapema ekom ewo pricing ni nyina ekofom ti na se fatase omanfo so esusu be benefit no mo so ebre eswati enti sa na tie no nyase bia ayebo apayo bi so obi pese wate so as anaso obi pese wato petrol mu
abusuafo ye gina ha na ya home kase ebo no so abaye ba ye betwetwen enkomo ya ho odene asoye no ohawo a sesi omunemu ni ade anu nti ama nyina monkane ampo sesi abafom utum se yedununum kane ane kakran kakra no ye kwaba na ye de ho enkomo